Talk to me, Cleveland. All right, we've officially started the show. As I was just saying, we're getting ready as we wait for the super producer, Felicia Haney. And of course, if you want to hit up the brother, if you're in Northeastern Ohio, you want to hit up emonroofing.com for the free roof inspection. If you say you're down with Chill Talk, you already know what it is. And if you have any type of insurance, my man from Emon Roofing says that he will do the best he can to make sure you don't have to come out of pocket, as my people say, for the free. All right, hit him up at emonroofing.com. Call him up at 216-678-9445. You already know, Spears of the Mossy 1 and 2. You see it over my shoulder. You see it over my shoulder on the T-shirt. You see the books. You see the books. So you see the Spears. Spears up. All right. Hopefully we'll be joined by some brothers from Spears of the Mossy from the Kofi Pi Psi research team. We're going to start populating this. This is a show that you don't want to miss. We're going to get some people in the room. You see some familiar faces. You see at least one familiar face. Okay, anybody that's on right now, if you need to mute your mic, please do so. If you're getting ready to, look at that. We have my sister, the one and only Rhonda Crowder. What's going on, Rhonda?
Jill, how are you this evening?
I'm good. It's always good to see you. Like I just saw you, Rhonda, in the meeting for the
Sunday.
For our emergency meeting for the Greater Cleveland Association of Black Journalists.
I have a committee meeting tomorrow night too.
Hey man, for the people who do not know, I am the president of the Greater Cleveland Association of Black Journalists, which is our local Cleveland chapter for the National Association of Black Journalists, NABJ, the largest association, the largest Black association of Black writers in the country, probably the world, Craig. And Rhonda is the vice president of print. So that's how we run it things. I'm the president, she's the vice president.
You drag me along.
Hey, I had to make that move, Rhonda, so we got you in there. So yeah, but no, we're proud of our organization. We've done a few things as of late. You probably saw Rhonda on as she was moderator, along with our very own Russ Mitchell, for the forum, the Should Black People Vote for Trump or Biden forum, and Rhonda was one of the moderators for that. And it was,
people are still talking about that forum, Chill.
Hey man, Rhonda, it was ridiculously successful. We sold out the Zoom room, and then we had thousands of people following us on Facebook, on our various Facebook pages, on our GCLE BJ Facebook page. And Rhonda, you handled it. Rhonda, they needed you at that other debate.
No, they needed Judge Judy at that debate.
They needed Rhonda because that first debate was out. Actually, both debates were out of hand, but they needed you as a moderator. You wouldn't have went for that stuff.
They needed Judge Judy or Judge Maybelline.
Hey, let me tell y'all, Rhonda, I hear what you're saying, but Rhonda, you from the Glenville area, so you're not really having.
Really, I'm from Huff. I moved on up to Glenville, but I grew up in Huff.
Okay, well that's double the reason. You got Huff and Glenville roots. So Rhonda Crowder is not having it, but we're glad to have you today, Rhonda. Now today, we are welcome to be joined by members of the Ohio Collective. Now, Rhonda, are you, Rhonda, you wear so many hats around here. Are you repping for Ohio Collective?
Well, I've been rocking with the Collective for the last probably month or so. You the one put me in contact with. You said call Tiffany Edwards, and I called her, per your orders, and I've been rocking with the Collective ever since.
Okay, because Rhonda, it's hard to tell what hat you have on when you jump on with Chill Talk. you representing clients, you with other organizations. Like you said, you're the vice president of the Black Journalists Association. You also, as a matter of fact, let me say this now, if anybody wants to advertise with Chill Talk, Rhonda is also the advertising manager. So support us as we, support you. Contact Rhonda Crowder if you want to advertise with Chill Talk. Let's see here. All right. So also, Rhonda, since I'm doing this again, and Rhonda, will you believe this is our 33rd episode in quarantine since we have not been at the radio station?
Wow. I didn't realize that.
33 shows since we have not been up at Radio 1 since the quarantine.
Wow.
So,
but you're still going. That's the resilience.
That's right. We still rocking and rolling.
Not even Corona could stop this Chill Talk.
Not Corona, not Bud Light, none of that. Not Modelo. Hey, Rhonda, do you know my mama took the Coronas out of her refrigerator? The Corona beers.
Well, I don't know. I kind of think Corona might just be the cure.
My mama gonna say, boy, why are you telling people about what beer I took out of my refrigerator? She gonna have something to say. But what I was going to say was, anybody want to advertise with Chill Talk, get up with Rhonda Crowder. And also, if you want to donate, anybody just want to make a donation, the Cash App is in the chat, $money to chill, the number 2, not the words, not the letters, TWO, but the number 2, $money to chill. Just make any donation you like. You can make it to Chill Talk, and it's going to keep us rocking, especially since we're not at the radio station with regular commercials. But speaking, Rhonda, do you know Iman Roofing? We've been rocking for Iman Roofing. Do you know Iman Roofing is putting a roof on my mama's house?
Stop it. She got the roof.
She don't have it yet, but they working on it.
But I've been seeing, since they started advertising with us, I've been seeing Iman Roofing everywhere. They put little yard signs where they're doing work. They are everywhere. I didn't see in the trucks rolling down the street. The signs and yards. I was like, Iman Roofing ain't playing.
Man, we put Iman Roofing on, Rhonda. As a matter of fact, not only is Iman Roofing doing my mama's roof, they doing 2 other people's roofs on my mama's street.
Okay.
So they got business up and through Lee and Harvard.
That's what's up.
So big ups to Iman Roofing, and he's hooking people up for the free.
If you call Iman Roofing, you get a free estimate. They come out.
If you say you down with Chill Talk,
and they will also try to help you find money to pay for the roof. Correct? When you're insured, they take a look at your insurance and
take a look at your insurance and try to work it out with your insurance company where you don't have to even come out of pocket to get your roof fixed. Get a brand new roof. Get a part of your roof. My mama getting her roof hooked up. So yeah, Iman Roofing is doing. We just don't talk about it. It's going down. So Rhonda, we will officially bring on members of the Ohio Collective. I see we got one of my frat brothers out there. We got one of my good brothers of Kappa Alpha Psi up in the building. See, look at that.
No.
Hey, Damon, we only want to get Rhonda started. Rhonda used to have some real slick stuff to say about the brothers of Kappa Alpha Psi. Hold on. We got another brother. Hold on. I saw another brother up
I
in
was
there.
just trying to figure out what was going on at that Kappa house. That's all. That was
Rhonda has, man, when we used to work together at the Calling Post, Rhonda had some slick stuff to say about the Kappas.
Okay.
It was, I was just trying to figure out what was going down at the Kappa house. That was all.
She claimed it was some shenanigans going on at the Kappa house.
That's what it is.
But she has grown to highly respect the members of Kappa Alpha Psi.
Absolutely.
Good stuff.
All right. I see my brother Kevin Lloyd in the building representing.
What's up, Newt?
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. All right, we're gonna bring on Tiffany Edwards. Tiffany, what's going on? Okay, you on mute, Tiff. You gotta unmute. There we go.
Kevin.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fantastic. Hey, collective.
Okay.
What's up?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey now.
Hey.
Rhonda, this might be the biggest crowd that we've had on Chill Talk. These many people in the building at one time.
Well, we had some big crowds down in the studio.
Oh yeah, in the studio, yeah. Oh, in the studio, it was packed, but actually on the Zoom,
Okay.
this is probably the most we've had on screen at one time.
The collective is deep, just so you know.
It's deep.
Definitely.
The collective is rolling like the Crips up in here.
Not so much the Crips. So, Bo, you know.
Right.
Oh, you know.
Here you go.
All right,
No.
Tiffany, could you please tell us about the Ohio Collective and then let us know who all we have in the building?
Absolutely. Well, it is a pleasure to introduce all of you to the State of Ohio Collective. We are a nonprofit organization where we're focused on 3 programmatic areas of education, health, and economic development. To that end, our focus is to ensure that we are helping to solve discrimination toward African Americans in institutional, systemic, and structural racism. We come together from 8 key cities, that's Akron, Canton, Cleveland, Youngstown, Toledo, and Dayton. And our focus is to ensure that the resources are needed and provided to African Americans. And it's not necessarily to reinvent the wheel, but to actually open up a lane and not compete with what already exists. And on this call tonight, I have, of course, the amazing Rhonda Crowder. I have the illustrious, your Noop, Kevin Lloyd.
Yo,
And another one,
Yo.
the amazing Damon Reed.
yo,
The beautiful, ever talented, and effervescent Sherry Hamilton.
There is a Sherry Lloyd, though.
There's a Sherry Lloyd,
There
though.
is.
My sister. And then last but not least, we've got Jasper Person, who is just an amazing man of God and one of the co-founders. And actually, Jill, when we started looking at each and every aspect of what we wanted to do here, I have to tell you, really, I was watching the George Floyd protests. As I watched it, I started getting really, really upset. Angry to a point where I realized that at the end of the day, we have all this action occurring, but what we don't have is a plan. We don't have a way to actually pull together the opportunities and the resources of all this amazing African-American talent that we have throughout the state of Ohio. And it was a battle cry, and people were so upset and so hurt. And I remember picking up the phone and talking to my brother Jasper and saying, JP, I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. I said, we have to do something, and we have to do it now. And Jasper, what led from there was unbelievable. He's like, I gotta call Kev.
well, you know what? Let's go to. Do we have Jasper in the building?
We
Yes,
do.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, Jasper, talk to us about the formation of this, and you got that call. What was from your perspective? What was the call to action that you felt it was necessary to start making moves?
Yeah, so thanks first of all, man. But it was the moment. Like I think we find ourselves in moments, and we understand and know as a people that something has to be done. That and in those moments, we also understand and know that we have an opportunity to kind of step up to the plate. I think as a community and as a people, we're always looking for somebody else, whether it's the government, whether it's another system, to provide solutions for us. It's one of those things where you're like, okay, it's our turn, right? And we can do something, and we can figure something out. We have enough amazing, smart, beautiful, intelligent individuals within our network and in our communities across the state of Ohio to bring the collective together and to begin to make something happen. And so immediately my next call was to Kev, and we had already kind of been talking about some of the things that were going on in Columbus with the protests and and everything. And so it was just like, man, bro, I need you to meet Tiff, and the rest was the beginning, as I say.
All right. Well, Kev, since you shouted out Kev, talk to me, King, and let me know about that call that you got and the importance of your involvement in what you guys are doing.
Yeah, so appreciate it. So JP reached out to me, and so that I actually run ColumbusBlack.com. So I was actually out on the front lines, like literally trying to capture what was actually happening during the protest. And I was seeing everything that was taking place, like right there. I ended up getting, sprayed and strike bombs thrown at my feet and the whole nine. So right in the middle of it all. So definitely when JP hit me, it was like, yeah, we have to do something. But what was interesting, we weren't just like, hey, we need to focus on just what's going on right now with the protest, but it was about long term. Like we recognize, like this has happened again. It's time for us to do something that was going to impact our community long term. And that's exactly what we started focusing on. And the cool part about the collective, as you're going to learn tonight, is it is a group of individuals from around the state of Ohio that came together collectively to achieve a common goal. And when you think about health or the key disparities tied to in a systemic institutional impact when it comes to health and it comes to education, it comes to economic development, and even when you think about government and the nonprofit side, it really all works together, and you can't just fix one side of it. So when JP hit me and then he told me about Tiff and we spoke, it was like game over, let's do this. And we put the time in, like we've been so dedicated to this, and we've given up our weekends, our nights, our days, just to get to this point. And it's really exciting to be here. But I'm working on the economic development side because we have disparities with our Black-owned businesses, with funding, and obviously from a job creation and representation standpoint. So that's what I'm focused on. And now we have some other great people at the table that's helping us bring it all together.
All right, my brother. Yeah, Kev, I believe a while back, although I don't think I was able to connect with you, I believe one of my brothers in Columbus, Billy Fields.
Oh yeah, Brother Fields.
Yeah, that's my man. That's my
Yeah,
man.
good brother.
Yeah, he made me. He's one of the brothers that led me to Kappa. Yeah, me and Billy go back. We went to high school together. We came to college together, and
wow.
that's my man. But yeah,
he's a great one.
Oh, that's definitely a good brother. So, Sister Sherry Hamilton, talk to me about the collective from your perspective and why it's important to you and your involvement thus far.
So I know Damon Reed. We go way back. He was an educator at the school that my daughter attended, my children attended, Columbus Afrocentric School. And that experience back then, we were such a family. I was there as a parent from when the school started, the first year that the school started. And so I got the call from Damon and Tiffany together. Actually, no, Damon, I think, talked to my husband, who was also an educator at Afrocentric, and he said, you got to talk to Tiffany. You got to talk to Tiffany. He kept saying, you got to talk to Tiffany. I had her number on a little piece of paper. I misplaced it. I didn't call when I should, but the call came back around again. Got on the phone, and I was literally buzzing. I'm like, yes, 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 and yes. Where do I sign up? Do I need to sign a contract? What's going on? Because, we all, I think, feel the same about working together towards these common goals, not for a moment, not for an event, not for a cycle, but for the long term, and getting it to the point where when we're needing to cycle out of this process, that we make sure we pass the torch in a proper way. I remember my father actually had a radio show or a radio segment here called Rich Black Thought. And before he passed away, I recorded one last Rich Black Thought. And one of the biggest observations he had, because he was very active as an activist in the 60s and 70s, one of the observations he made is that they did not successfully pass the torch
Mhm.
to our generation. That we got to the 80s, we got comfortable, we were in, you know, the 80s and 90s, it was all good. And we lost sight of all of the momentum and all of the work that had been done. And so we want to make sure that as we build and as we grow and as we start to address these issues and, you know, time marches on, that we keep going, that this is, you know, we're looking decades out, generations out. We're not just looking to do this for a moment or while it's hot. We're looking to do this for the long haul.
All right. And
So I'm just excited to be a part of it. I've worked with a lot of, I just had one more thought. I work with a lot of great Black organizations. And they're all amazing. So I don't want anybody who sees this or hears this that I'm working with elsewhere to take offense to it. But this collective right here, this collective right here,
For
we
real.
ain't messing around. It's for real.
No, it's for real.
Yeah, it's for
It's
real.
for real.
I hear you on that one. And one of the things you brought up was talking about setting up, for one, you talked about generations, and you also talked about passing the baton. That is a conversation that Rhonda and I have had all throughout our times working at the Call and Post. Matter of fact, Rhonda, many times we decided what we were going to do at the Call and Post based on the fact of how history would look at us.
Absolutely.
That was a comment between us. We thought about how history would look at what we were doing on that particular day. So I'm appreciative that you guys talk in those terms. Now, I want to get my man Damon in here, because Damon apparently is making calls, getting hookups, pulling people in as well. So, matter of fact, yeah, I see. You don't even see my shirt I'm representing. I got, okay, there we go. You see how I'm doing it today.
There it is.
I'm repping 2 chapters on my shirt.
Check them out. Gamma Tone.
Gamma Tau and
See
ZZ.
you?
There we go. That's what's up. Damon, talk to me, King.
Hey, listen, Chill, I appreciate the opportunity. To be honest with you, man, it was Tiffany that really brought me in. Like she mentioned before, she talked to Jasper.
Tiffany's the glue.
And then next thing you know, Tiffany's like, hey, Damon, you in the education space. I need some input. What do you got? What can you do? Can you help us out? And of course, I'm all in when it comes to education because that's dear to my heart. 21 years in the game, and I love what I do. So of course, anything that I can help the collective out in any way, shape, or form, I'm all in. Tiffany made the connections. I mean, it's been beautiful ever since. I mean, I cannot speak. I mean, I'm speechless when it comes to the collective, you know, because once again, like Sherry mentioned, it's a great opportunity. It's a great organization. I mean, we start from the bottom and we going all the way up to the top. Yes, okay. Indeed.
That's what's up. And now we're gonna go to Tiffany for a couple specific things. But before I do that, I want to say what's up to some people that are joining us and giving us shout outs in the chat on the Chill Talk page, as well as on my personal Kevin Hurd page. So also what's going on to my man Terry Chambers. Terry Chambers, talk to me, King. What's up? What's going on with my girl Dawn Ross in the building, Mark Batson in the building, and my man Any Arrett Sean Kalfani, one of the co-authors of the book Spears of the Masi 1 and 2, which you can see the books, 2 books over my shoulder, as well as his children's book, which, oh my God, I don't have it right by me, but everybody from the Kofi Pie Side research team, they're 2 books in. Actually, I think they're 4 books in right now. So support those brothers, and we're gonna have to get them. And we have a surprise chill announcement coming up about volume 3. We have 2 people doing forwards in the book, and I'm sure that you will know these 2 people. So I'll save that. Before we go to Tiffany, because she's orchestrating behind the scenes, we got to get my man Omar in the building. Omar, where are you at, bro?
How you doing, sir? I am here in the building.
I am good, Omar. Talk to me and about your involvement with the Ohio Collective.
Oh man, the Ohio Collective is once again, by far one of the most talented group of folks, you know, that's been assembled to really move the needle on the conversation in regards to just all of the different pillars, all of the things that we need to change in the game for our community. So I was brought in by my friend Kevin. Me and Kevin have rapped a lot. My specialty, what I focus on, is small business startups within the minority community. It's bringing both educational experience as well as technology experience to the table and to bring to bear in our community so that we can truly grow companies and we can scale, and that we represent. We represent our demographic. We represent our community in the larger business scale.
Okay, there we go. Now, I do want to go to Tiffany. You guys have and I'm saying, I guess you guys, I guess I should be saying we.
Right.
Tiffany, the Ohio Collective has a big event coming up. So talk to us about it. Tell us what it's about and what it is.
Absolutely. So on Saturday, October 17th, from 9:30 until 12:30 p.m., ohiocollective.org. Join us. We have the State of Black Ohio event. It is going to be all the way live and amazing. We are bringing in two very talented keynote speakers. The first one is Jody David Armour. He will be talking to us. He's from USC, University of South Carolina, and is bringing a book called Ninja Theory, but the word isn't ninja.
Okay.
And that book is just absolutely amazing. His father actually argued his own case in court and got out after having a wrongful marijuana possession charge, 22 to 55 years. And actually, then upon his release, dedicated much of his life to giving back to other incarcerated individuals.
All right, Tiff, you muted yourself. Somehow you got on mute. There you go. You're unmuted now. You were muted for a second.
Okay, so did you hear about Jody David Armour?
We heard the beginning of it.
Okay, so he actually, his father is a legacy lawyer. This is one of the things that he is most passionate about as far as a civil rights activist and an attorney who actually works at USC. And his father argued his own case and got out of prison after a wrongful marijuana possession charge. And with that, he was sentenced to 22 to 55 years and got out after 6 years after arguing his own case. His son followed in his footsteps, and now he's doing a tremendous job. Then, of course, we have from the White House, Terrace Todd. He's the executive director of African American Initiatives in Education, and we're so excited to have him. And of course, all of these amazing collective members that you see here will be participating in one way or the other. Sherry Hamilton is a beast when it comes to putting and orchestrating all of the design as far as implementation, graphic design, organization for the actual event itself. Unbelievable. Omar and Kevin are going to be helping to moderate the economic development panel. Of course, Damon Reed will be sitting on the education panel. Rhonda Crowder will be sitting on civic and engagement. Of course, you, Jill, will be on health. And of course, Jasper Person will be helping to, again, provide glue and helping to moderate education with me. And so we have a lot of people who will be coming out, and I certainly hope everybody who's listening can join us. Again, www.ohiocollective.org is how you can connect, register, participate, and donate. We need your help. We're going after a $2 billion earmark, where we're looking for $2 billion every year for the next 15 years to help provide systemic change for African Americans throughout the state of Ohio. And if you look at a $68 billion budget for the state of Ohio, $2 billion isn't that much, especially when we comprise almost half for all of those 8 key cities. And there are other entities that are comprising and receiving things like $2 billion, but we won't go quite there.
Okay, now what just tell me when people tune in, when people join in, and you just gave the information how people can be a part of this, and I want you to to do that again, but what can your everyday Black person who is interested in first of all, how can they support the organization? Let me take care of that first.
Absolutely. So the first way that they can support is to participate. Come to the event. Hear all of the amazing things that the Ohio Collective is doing and understand that we're working collaboratively together. If they have ideas or suggestions, drop them in any poll or chat that we have. Additionally, get active. Be active in every process that you can, whether it's civic engagement, whether it's organizing a community block watch. Number one right now, vote, 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 vote. But then in addition to that, understand what's happening in your communities, what's happening as far as business and economic development. Know what's happening as far as education is concerned. Just be very civic-minded. And I've been talking a whole lot, and I want to give other collective members the opportunity to chat. So I don't know who else would like to hop in and talk about ways that people can participate, but I'm telling you, this is a movement. It's not a moment. The Ohio Collective is a movement. We're looking for the next 50 years to help solve systemic, structural, and institutional-based racism.
Okay, well, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I did want to hop in before I forget this thought. One of the main things that we talked about when putting together this event is that we don't want it to just be another webinar where people are talking, and reminding us all of what the issues are. We know what the issues are. Everyone knows. So we will talk some about that, but we really will be focusing on solutions. We want to present solutions, and we're bringing those solutions from subject matter experts from around the state in those different areas that we're focusing on. So we want to provide solutions and action steps that attendees can use. And we also, like Tiffany said, we welcome feedback, we welcome ideas. Let's work on this collectively to eradicate the systemic issues that have held us back for generations, really for our existence in this country.
Well, Sister Hamilton, now Tiffany said you were a beast. And now what is it you a beast at again? Rewind that one.
Everything.
All things IT and so much more.
Right.
I have an IT background. I'm a Black girl who codes. I don't want to tell my age here, but I do have over 30 years in IT experience. And so I really have been able to marry my technical expertise with my creative background that I grew up with. And so I do a lot of things creatively, and I do a lot of things technically I'm what's called a full stack developer. So I completely understand hardware and I completely understand software and the user interface. So it's like the full spectrum. That's what I work on from the back end to the front end, and throw some icing and a cherry on top. That's what.
Okay,
Sisters, no joke. No joke.
Everybody's co-signing that one. But let me ask you this real quick while I have you on and we're on that subject, because, especially now, that everybody's kind of locked in some form or fashion, not as public as they normally would be. Organizations, businesses are having meetings in this type of way, but people are communicating. I mean, people have been communicating this way for a while, but it has really come to bear, to fruition, that these things are available and so many IT avenues are in the forefront. Actually, my son is a senior in college, and he's studying for software engineering.
Okay.
But so he's
coding
and doing all of that. But as far as the IT field and Black people are concerned, what are some of the avenues and the growth that you see that's going to benefit the Black community?
Well, I've known for a really long time that I was in the right field. first of all, I've never, ever struggled to find work. And that's not only when I was in the corporate world, I started in the military, but even in the corporate world and moving forward to being an entrepreneur. I'm a serial entrepreneur, and I've been working for myself for the last 8-9 years. But you will, if you're in the IT field, and I tell young people this all the time, if you're interested, do it, you know, because our dependence, our need for more technology is not going to go away. It's only going to grow. The growth and the changes that I've seen since COVID, while everyone else is, you know, thinking, oh, how do I function now in this digital world? For all of us that were already in technology, everything is just, you know, there's more demand for what I do. I didn't see any slowdown because of COVID. I'm seeing extra. I need sleep. That's all I'm trying to say.
You see an increase.
Amen.
I need sleep. And I don't know if you can see my shirt. You see, it says Ohio Black Excellence.
Nice.
So I'm on the board of Ohio Black Expo. We, you know, it was supposed to be downtown Columbus. But when we saw the Arnold Classic was canceled, we were like, oh, snap, because that event brings Columbus, I believe, and Kevin, you probably would know this, I think that, and Omar, I think that the Arnold brings more money to the city of Columbus than any other event every year. And so when we saw that was canceled in March and our event was going to be in May, we said, oh, snap. And thank God, because of my background, I think we were, the Ohio Black Expo was one of the first major events to go virtual. And so I'm thankful for, you know, we all are the sum of all of our experiences. And so you never know why you're being exposed to certain things or get experience in different things. But I find that more and more, everything that I've experienced and everything that's in my toolbox, all of those things are there for a reason. And I am happy to be working with the collective and other organizations to pull all of those experiences together. But IT is just going to keep going. And Kevin can talk about Black Hack, which is a great organization of Black tech folks. There are a lot of us out here. We just don't get to work together that much, but now we do. It's the collective, y'all.
All right.
Definitely.
All right, Kev, jump on in there, bro. Go ahead and expand on that.
So she mentioned, so first of all, you know, kudos to everything that she's been doing for our team. Sherry's been absolutely amazing, why we call her the beast, because she's just like front to back, like handling business. But she just mentioned Black Hack, right? So I ended up being a co-director for Black Hack here in Columbus, Ohio. And that was established by two really cool creative brothers, Brandon Jones and Bruce Jones, and they came together because a lot of times, especially for those of us that are in the startup space, when you go to a lot of events and activities and you try to share your ideas and try to get a feel, you find yourself as being like one of very, very few in the room, right? So really being that minority. So they created Black Hack so we could have a safe space and an environment where you could come and you could learn about how to hack into technology and any other space that you may want to. And over the last 4 years, we've been conducting events. We brought in, you know, influencers, startup founders, angel investors, VCs, and really helped to connect the dots for those of us that want to learn how to play in this space, because we all know there's a disproportionate number of us that play in this space. And this is where the money is. This is where the wealth is. IT is where all the dollars are today and in the future. So that's why Sherry hasn't had to look for a job. So that has evolved, and what we're about to launch, and I know Omar may talk about this later as well, is a safe space for us as a people, right? Called Venture Suite. That's going to launch in Columbus really soon, and it allows creatives and innovators and startup founders to come and have a space, because we need a home, right? You don't have to go to Starbucks and you don't have to go to Panera Bread and work out of your basement. Now you're going to have a space, and that's what we get to do. What we're doing here as a collective, begin to work together. Right? Because when you're in the same environment and you get to see cool people like you, Chill, you get to start working on things together. And that's powerful in itself for what we want to do. And in that same building, we're going to do tech credentialing, which allows you to upgrade, right? And get those skills like Sherry just mentioned, where you learn how to code, all in this same building for our community. So there's a lot of really cool things that we're doing. And we're going to talk about those during Ohio Collective in the state of Black Ohio this Saturday. So That's why people want to come out, and that ties into the education piece and accelerators that I know Jasper and Omar talk about as well, man.
All right, I want to get to you in a second, Omar, but give me a minute. I want to acknowledge that we have my man Craig Baxter, better known to our Chill Talk viewers as Stereo, the Hitman, one of the top music producers in the country in his field, and he's been in New York City for a long time, but he's a Cleveland native, and he's a good supporter of the show. I think he just showed up today because he saw his nemesis, Sean, in the building. They have their little back and forth thing. But I do want to ask Rhonda, because what's going on? My Shelly Shockley, one of my journalism mentors, has also joined us.
It's Shelly's birthday.
It is Shelly Shockley, Team Shockley. What's going on, Shelly Shockley? So, hey, if you're watching the show, anybody, if you want to share this, we have some really good information. This is a dynamic collective of brothers and sisters, and this event is about to go down, and you really need to know about it. Share this information, tell people about it, talk about it, get involved with it, and I guarantee you this will be a beneficial to our people, especially here to Black people in the state of Ohio. Before I go to Omar, and what's up again to Craig Baxter, the Stereo, I didn't forget our project. I'm on it, King. I got them bars coming, B, no doubt. Rhonda, and I keep in mind, I want to go back to Omar, but Rhonda, you know, we around our side, we believe on teamwork and working together. Real quick, Rhonda, when I said, hey, you got it, because I told Tiffany, I said, hey, Tiffany, you want it? She said, Chill, who's some people around you that you know I need to get with? I said, well, you need to get with Rhonda Crowder. And then the next thing I know, Rhonda's calling me back, and she's saying, oh, Chill, this is the for real thing. This is the real deal. Rhonda, talk to me about, you know, when you got the call and you started talking and getting involved, what were some of the things that you saw that got you excited to bring that information back to me and some of the people that we work with?
Well, you know, as you mentioned, Chill, you gave me Tiffany's number. You sent it to me in a text. You said you need to call her, you need to talk to her. I said, okay, you know, let me follow Chill's orders here. And I called Tiffany, and, you know, as George Fraser's book, The Click, we clicked. We like clicked automatically. And the things that she was talking about, you know, the ideas of the collective and the things that they wanted to do, it was just so on point that I'm like, you know, wow, this, you know, they speak in my language here. You know, anytime a group of us is talking about coming together and bringing our communities together, our expertise together, you know, advancing our race, you know, I'm all about that. So we talked, we connected, the conversation just, you know, continued. She invited me into the Zoom calls with the rest of the collective members. And, you know, they say that you don't want to be the smartest person in the room, right? You know, and I ain't know, you know, I ain't the dullest knife in the drawer, right?
You rock, Rhonda. Everybody knows that. Go ahead.
I'm the smartest person in this room at all. I mean, I'm just like, wow, I'm blown away with the members of this collective and the work that they've done as individuals, you know, and even a part of their different organizations. One day, me and Tiffany was on the phone, and she said, well, you know, you have to meet Jasper Person. And I said, Jasper Person, I know that name. I said, why do I know that name? And then it clicked in my head that I edited his profile for Who's Who in Black Columbus. So I go dig out my Who's Who in Black Columbus book, and I'm like, yeah, I edited his profile. And then, you know, I talked to him, and then, you know, just kept meeting, you know, more and more members of the collective. And I'm just like, wow, you know, this is an amazing assembly of Black talent. And the plan that they have, you know, for advancing our community is on point, and it's perfect timing. And, you know, I'm here to help however I can.
Okay, well, hey, if the best contribution I have is Is that I contacted Rhonda Crowder for you guys, then I'll roll with that one. Omar, so they passing the baton to you, bro. Talk to us in specificity about what we have here.
Oh man, so one of the things what really intrigued me is the well-roundedness of the collective and the knowledge base. And one of the things, so what we're doing is take Venture Suite, for instance. So I'm one of the leaderships on Venture Suite. And what we're going to do is we're trying to change the dynamic of conversation within our community and truly bring Wall Street to Main Street. So when we have young people out here who have ideas, they have great insight on how to build a business or idea to build a business, but we don't get the resources and the support, as you know, that other constituents get. And so what we want to do is change the conversation and shift to where we get funding and we add rigor to it, because it's not only who you know, but it is some of what you know, so that we can position our community to take advantage of a lot of the opportunities and dollars out there. So that is one of the things that I'm really passionate about. Definitely on the business side, we want to grow our numbers. You know, right now, just on average, we represent 7%, even though we represent 13% of the population, we represent only 7% of the business community. We need to grow that. And then even from that, out of the 7%, only really 5% of us have payroll where we hiring other people. We want to change the game on that. We want to be able to hire our community and grow and scale. And it plays into education. It plays into your health, your mental health. If you stressed out and struggling, I mean, that all plays a factor. It all ties together. So this is how we want to move the needle.
Okay. Now, Jasper, do you recall that did Rhonda take care of you when she edited your bio for Who's Who?
Official like a blown whistle, chill.
Rhonda, you got to take care of my people up in
here.
here.
Yeah, she did an excellent job. Excellent job.
All right, so Damon and Jasper, you guys are involved in the education part of the upcoming State of Black Ohio. I need you two to talk about what can we expect, what can we learn, how can we benefit from the education standpoint of what's coming up.
Go ahead, Jasper.
Go ahead, bro. I'll follow up. Go ahead.
Okay, what's important with the education piece, man, it's a lot of disparity. There's a lot of disparity that's going on within the education piece, man, when it comes to suspension rates for young men, African-American young men and young women. Test scores is skewed tremendously when it comes to, well, should we hold these kids back? Should we move them on? And that's not the case at all, because our young African-American kings and queens are brilliant. And it's sad to say that in the education space, I want to say 90% or maybe 80 to 90% of the teachers are Caucasian, and they teaching our young African-American men and women. And we just cannot have that. Working with the collective, I'm hoping at some point down the road, we can actually come up with a program where we can get these young men in high school or even middle school to start sliding their way into education field, because that's how I came to be an educator in high school. It was a program called Law and Education, and I felt like the law wasn't for me, but I really fell in love with the education piece. I took off with it. I developed lesson plans in high school. I taught elementary kids when I was in high school, and I just fell in love with it. I continued with it within my college career, came back, and I'm giving back to my community. I'm teaching my young African-American males and females, and I love it.
Jasper. All right, Jasper, it's on you. You got the mic.
Sir. Yes, sir, man. Super excited, man. We always talk about the fact that we know education is the foundation for so many of us. We can't have a conversation around government, policy, economics, right? Nothing before we talk about the education. And I always address the fact that education and school are different, right? And we as a people and as a community, we need to accept that and realize that and be able to understand that everybody should have an opportunity to be educated and understand the importance of that, right? Because education can be, you know, something that your grandfather, right, is able to instill into you even with the third grade education, right? Or school system development, right? And so understanding the difference between the two, and as a people, taking advantage of the opportunity and the power for us to be educated is the key. And as Damon mentioned, the disparities, you know, of what we look at from, you know, suspensions and expulsions, you know, 65, 70+% of our African-American males and females leading the pack in every single negative statistic, right? But then being at the bottom when it comes to advanced placement and college readiness and, you know, so honor classes, right? And so when we look at these disparities, that we've been seeing them for generations, right? Really for the last 10 to 20 years. When we talk about our urban 8 school districts across the state of Ohio, all 8 of them have been in a failing situation for the last 10 to 20 years, every last one of them, right? And so we understand that we're putting out through this system something that has already been defected. And so we have to take control as people and as a community and invest and be a part of the educational process of our young people. And we do that by kind of just changing the game up, right? And having a different type of conversation, a different structure, right? And so a lot of the work that I do, and I talked about in that moment that Tiff called me, and the importance of the moment of what was going on. But I'm always pushing the conversation of 50 years, right? I tell the story of the professor who went in at Ohio State University to be a part of a planning conversation, and he had prepared all this information. I think it was like in 2008 or 2009, and he had all this data for 2020 and what to expect and how things should flow and what would happen for one of the largest universities in the country. And he got there as the only African American in the space. He was excited, right? And they start the meeting and they say, hey, Doc, well, this isn't about 2020. This is about 2050, right? And so we have to change how we see our process, right? And how we see our development, and understanding that foundationally education is the key, right? And if we don't take back education, we'll keep finding ourselves running in circles in every other area. Because when we look at our history books and what our children are forced to learn, right? And if it's a lie, right, it's a lie. But if it's a lie, it's something that they have to learn. It's something that they have to spit back out and know that they have knowledge and understanding of, so that they can move forward, right? But if we don't take advantage, if we don't take the time to be a part of that process and begin to kind of comb through the educational process, then we continue to lose our young people and continue to develop really the mess that we found over the last 10 to 15 years. And so it's always looking at how to change the game organically, right? And kind of create our own ecosystem through education as a foundation. And so we do that in a number of ways. The Master's Preparatory Academy, right? The first African-American male boarding school in the country is going to be right here in the state of Ohio, which is a part of the Ohio Collective. The founder and CEO will be sitting on the panel on Saturday to talk about the transformation when it comes to the work that we're doing with African-American males. And I think we've said it and we hear it all the time, right? The school to prison pipeline, right? And how it was created and designed for others to be able to benefit off of our backs. And
talk about it.
Right. And so we continue to see these systemic developments that have been created for us, but they use education to be able to make sure that our communities and our peoples are fragmented and broken up to be able to do what it is that they need from a systemic standpoint. And so we're taking that back, right? And we're taking that back by creating a space and an environment like Kev and Omar talked about with the Venture Suite and all these other opportunities, so that we can take our young people, right, and put them on 224 acres of land, 20 minutes outside of Columbus, right, and pull them from Akron and Cleveland and Canton, Youngstown, Dayton, Cincinnati, right? And place them there and allow them to learn how to fish, allow them to learn forestry as a curriculum and agricultural technology and to be able to see themselves, right? Other brothers like Damon Reed coming in, being their instructor and engager, but also too developing relationship with them, because we know a number of our young men don't have fathers. They don't have male influencers in their community that are continuing to push them, right? And so we've got professors and individuals coming from all over the place to be able to educate and engage and connect with these young men. And then obviously we'll be doing the same thing with our young ladies coming up soon. We're gonna keep that on the hush, but it's coming for sure, right? Because we need that, and it's a must. And if we're gonna create the cycle, right? Because we always talk about breaking a cycle, and I'm always telling people in my institutional work and correctional facilities that stop focusing on breaking the cycle, just create a new one, right? Create a new one, right? And so that's where we're at with Masters Preparatory Academy. We're creating a new cycle for us as a people and understanding foundationally, yes, we can have 12-year-olds who say, I want to be a brain surgeon, right? And we can begin to prepare them and put them in pre-med situations where they understand the development of the brain and how it works. And then they can stand in front of a professor at Stanford or Yale or Harvard and have dialogue and conversation with their beautiful Black skin, right? And so that's why education and the importance of what we're doing as the Ohio Collective is so transformational, right? And we need everybody and want everybody to be a part of what we're doing.
Oh my God, bro!
Right.
You put it.
Mic drop.
Man, wow. Go ahead, Tiffany. You were ready to say something.
I said, I think another critical part on the education piece is not just what they're getting academically while in school, but also what they actually are receiving after school. And so there are a lot of organizations that are making that kind of huge impact that are a part of the collective that are not available right now to be with us. I know Jasper and I have talked a lot about this, and one of the organizations that's up and coming, of course, is the Village. The Village actually provides that academic support and that outreach that they're going to need in perpetuity, and starting in Columbus, but then expanding out into the Dayton area. There also, of course, is By Any Means, Teresa Rogers, and the work that they're doing in incarcerated individuals and providing their families with a way to reconnect with one another and addressing all of those things that they so desperately need. When you start thinking about what you need as far as literacy and public relations and all things that are grammatically appropriate, you have, again, Rhonda Crowder right there, who is making an impact every single day. 5 a.m., her 5 a.m. writers group is insane. You have to log on and see it. It is incredible, folks. But then, of course, I'm going to wrap up by talking a little bit about Medley Strategists and all of the tutoring and pieces that are provided by Damon Reed and that team in order to ensure that people are advancing and moving forward. I really think you have some really dedicated people who are across the state in those cities, and our goal is to work collectively to solve those problems.
Okay, now, and I do want to say that it is my intent every morning at 5 a.m. to join Rhonda in the writers group. One day I did make it at 5, but it's not because I woke up at 5. It's because I was still up and it was 5 o'clock. And they were like, "Oh, Chill is on here." I'm like, yeah, okay. Well, actually, I just haven't been to sleep yet.
Nair has joined us. So it's like, some days it's a call and post reunion.
Oh, nice. And you know what, Rhonda, as I was listening to some of the things that Tiffany was saying, we may want to put Tiffany and the collective together with Rid-All Green Partnership.
Absolutely.
I think,
I think that's the beautiful thing about the collective is that they are looking for, looking across the state of Ohio to say, okay, who's doing the work in these different spaces, that's making impact, and how do we all come together collectively, right? To work. We've talked about this for years. How do we bring our community together? That, if we was to ever come together, that is game over. And that's the beauty, I think, about the collective, Chill.
Yeah. So remind me, Rhonda, to connect Tiffany with the people over at Rid-All Green Partnership. Tiffany, this is an organization that has done incredible work in Black agriculture, Black farming, They were organized initially by the brother that was the Obama's urban farmer, and they've done some incredible things here in Cleveland, literally out of nothing. They took acres of land. It was throwaway land. They said nothing would ever grow there. And this is in the hood. They call it green in the hood, going green in the hood. It was a dump site off of the transit line. And what they have now is simply incredible. So I want to make sure that I put you together with those brothers that are over there.
I appreciate it.
Tiffany, talk to us a little bit about, real quick. Again, I want to say what's up to everybody who is watching us on Chill Talk, on the other various platforms. Make sure that you share this. This is a very important program where we're here with the Ohio Collective, and they have a very important event coming up this weekend, the State of Black Ohio 2020. You do not want to miss it. We want to make sure that we keep adding, and we'll put some information as well on the Chill Talk radio page and on the Chill Vision page and all the Chill platforms in the Chillosphere. We will get all that information on, because you don't want to miss it. Please share this show that's going on right now, and I will upload this back again, even on the YouTube channel and all the other channels. Again, if you're watching, if you want to advertise with Chill Talk, contact Rhonda Crowder. If you just want to donate something to the cause, put some money in the tip jar, you can hit us up on Cash App, $money, the number 2 chill, $the money 2 chill, so we can keep all of these things going, especially since we're not at the radio station right now running regular commercials. But Tiffany, talk to me about the long-term goals of the Ohio Collective.
Absolutely. So when you start thinking about what we need in perpetuity, we did talk previously about that $2 billion that we need. $1 billion, of course, is for the annual operations that we need every year. $332 million goes towards health initiatives, $333 million towards education, and $335 million towards economic development. That's one half of the pie. The other half includes $500 million annually to go towards the creation of Black banks, and another $500 million to go towards an endowment, so that after 15 years of systemic investment of $2 billion, we will be able to provide for us, by us, and to keep it going in perpetuity. But when we were looking at how we create the infrastructure and the plan, we didn't want something where it's temporary, where we're looking at a year, 3 years, 5 years. It is much more critical that we plan this out so that we are able to address it generationally with succession. I think a lot of times that's where we as African Americans sometimes don't think strategically enough about what needs to happen, not for our children and children's children, but far, far beyond. And that's a very large piece of what we're attempting to do here. And prayerfully, we'll have the first Fortune 500 company that's African American owned through this collective.
Can I jump in about
Can you get 2 mic drops like in one segment?
Right.
Chill.
Hey, I'm a MC. My background is hip hop, so you can have as many mic drops and somebody come with some dope bars. Wow,
let's get it.
I wanted to jump in and make a comment about the economic development piece. Obviously, all of this is so important. We haven't even really talked a whole lot about health, which we need to. We definitely will on Saturday. But these pillars are so important. When you talk about Venture Suite and helping entrepreneurs to create jobs, the fact that only 5% have payroll, many of us, start businesses and run businesses and even run them successfully, but we're not creating jobs. And, if any of you know of Maggie Anderson's work, there was a study done by the Harvard Business School that her husband was affiliated with. They looked at the $1.2 trillion that we spend a year, but they just said if the average family making $75,000 or more spends only 3 to 5% of their money with Black businesses. Think about that, 3 to 5%. That's all we spend with each other. And so that's why a lot of our businesses are one and done in 1 to 2 years. That's why a lot of them don't grow to the point where they are able to hire people. But if we, those of us, again, households who make $75,000 or more would increase that 3 to 5% of spending with us to just 10%, it creates 1 million jobs. Now think what an extra 1 million jobs does. Just by those of us who can afford it, just changing, you may have to spend a little bit more. You may have to be a little bit more patient with the process as opposed to going to the dollar store down the street. We get our paper products in this household from a Black-owned company, our toilet paper, our paper towels. We get our laundry detergent from True Laundry, bank with a Black bank. All of these things are creating jobs. And if we all can adopt that mindset, we can take care of ourselves. And we just have to focus on that. I've been happy to see since the George Floyd situation that people have gone crazy about where can I support a Black business? Where can I find this? Where can I find that? So many of us focus on the restaurants. When you think of, oh, I need to spend money with a Black business this week, I'm about to go to this Black restaurant. That's great. But there are so many other types of businesses. One of the things that one of my companies has created that I've created as a developer is called Huku. It's a Black business locator app. And there are a lot of directories out there. There are a lot of things like that. But this app not only helps people locate businesses, but it also gives the business owners tools on the back end to connect with customers. So we have to, I don't see as much people talking about supporting Black businesses as I did even a month or 2 ago. So we, part of what we are going to do and what we'll continue to do, especially with Huku, which is rolling out across the country, is to make sure that no matter where you go, if you're traveling, you know where to find a Black business. A lot of people use Yelp. I'm guilty of it myself when I travel. I use Yelp and another app called Happy Cow because I need to find vegan restaurants. But we want to have this app be the go-to so that if you're from Ohio but you travel to New York or California or Nevada or Colorado or wherever you go, you know exactly where to go to support a Black business. If you get a flat tire, you know which Black or need work on your car while you're traveling, you know which mechanic to go to or what hotels to go to. We have all the hotels in the nation there. So we have to do these things again collectively. All of us that you see on the collective, we know that we have what we need within our community to turn this thing around, but it's about working together. That's what the collective is about. Let's work together and let's not just do it short term, let's do it long term.
All right, see, we talking about hooking up a Black people's green book. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm talking about.
Yes.
And we've talked a lot today about a lot of different things, but we haven't had an opportunity yet to talk about MILE, Make Your Life Entertaining, and we certainly haven't talked at all about MyCool Solutions and all of the amazing things that MyCool Solutions does, including the International Men of Excellence. So I wanted to also give an opportunity to talk about those amazing organizations that are also helping to provide an opportunity for individuals to really expand their horizons and the cultural pieces that are out there and needed by African Americans for African Americans.
Well, I'm glad that you brought up 2 organizations that I'm involved with, certainly the International Men of Excellence with my brother Adam Morgan. I serve as executive director. Adam Morgan is the co-founder and primary operator of that, of working with the youth and anybody. And I've connected Adam to participate with Rhonda doing her Huff Reads. Adam Morgan is a relative of the great Black inventor Garrett Morgan. And Adam, during Black History Month, Adam is hot. That's his hottest. And so I've connected Adam up even with Rhonda, and he's come over and talked to kids in the Huff area about his relative, the great Garrett Morgan, inventor of the traffic signal and the gas mask and so many other things. And of course, we're good friends here with with Garrett Morgan's granddaughter, Sandra Morgan. And I remember Rhonda contacted me. She said, Chill, can we get Sandra Morgan? But it was like for an event that was maybe, 3 days away. And I said, I don't know if we can get Sandra, but I have a Morgan for you. And she said, yeah. I said, well, Adam is. And so that worked out fine. But yeah, International Men of Excellence, I'm proud of Adam Morgan and what that organization does, oftentimes going into the belly of the beast, to the prison systems, to the juvenile detention systems, and dealing with kids and adults that a lot of us don't want to go and work with. And we're not built like that. But, Brother Morgan and the members of International Men of Excellence has done this for decades. And I've seen amazing results going into the prison systems, going into the juvenile detention centers, and making a difference. And certainly the organization that I founded, My Cool Solutions, I say if you're not part of the cool solution, you're part of the damn problem. So we do a lot of things at My Cool Solutions involved with martial arts, not just as a self-defense, but as a strategic plan, strategy for life, for business. We do the history piece where we talk about ancient Africa. We have a thing, a working relationship. Well, I don't want to say, if I want to say Rhonda, working. We have a mutual relationship with the Cleveland Museum of Art, where I bring people into the museum, and specifically to the Egyptian gallery, the Egyptian collection. And, I give history of the collection of the artifacts that are there, things about ancient Egypt, which I change all the terms, so we know it as Kemet. But we use that, for so many different educational pieces. We have hip hop education, everybody, well, I don't know if everybody, my background in the early hip hop movement, connected to the foundation of hip hop over in the South Bronx, with me being a artist with Fever Records, that was connected to the club, The Fever, which was the first club of note in hip hop period. Also in the South Bronx, people may recognize it from the film Crush Groove. But and yes, I was old school rap artist MC Chill, but I still got bars. So don't mess with me. I had to tell these youngsters.
So until I have to tell the story, I was this kid growing up in Cleveland listening to MC Chill on the radio. And when I get to the call and post, and Connie brings me Chill into Chill's office, and he say, yeah, my name is Kevin Chill Hurd. I'm like, wait a minute, you MC Chill? This is where you at? This where you been hiding out at the call and post.
Hiding out at the People's Paper. So so we do hip hop education. We do education through martial arts. We do journalism. We work through various pillars of My Cool Solution, and the objective is to introduce and bring people in a way where they normally wouldn't find it interesting, like going to the museums or talking about journalism. Because, and Rhonda tell you, when we go to speak, oftentimes, whether it's with the Call and Post, formally of us being Call and Post employees, but even with the Black Journalism Association, a lot of times when I go to talk to kids, they introduce me. I'm the president of the Black Journalists Association. I was the journalist, editor, at the Call and Post newspaper for a zillion years. But the minute I say that I was a rapper, okay, now I got their attention. And of course, And kids don't, you can't fool kids these days. You say that you a rapper, and first of all, they're gonna look you up. They're gonna look you up, so you have to, be legit. You can't say, "Well, I did this and I will," and they be like, "Bro, I don't see you nowhere." And but they look me up. I'm easily, my footprints are there as a journalist and a hip hop artist. And then they want to know, do you have bars? So that we also do that. But that allows me to get their attention to then talk about other things. So that's cool. And I appreciate Tiffany, you bringing that up. Really quick, also, because I always want to acknowledge some of my people who join in on the Chill Talk page. We have Geneva Ivy. Hey, Mama Geneva Ivy. We have my brother Randall Priest in the building. What's going on, Randy? Shelly Shockley said they're waiting on me at 5 a.m. and I tell you, Rhonda, I have like the first paragraph of my book written. So, and I have a working title.
Okay.
So, if I can get to sleep.
Or maybe you can even finish that chicken script.
Okay, we don't even want to talk about all the film scripts that I'm behind on, but we're going to get all those together. And I will join you if I can ever get to sleep before 3:30 a.m., then I can get up at 5 and be with you guys. So Tiffany, because Sherry talked about the health part of it, and you brought up other things. Have we gone over all of the pillars that are involved in the Ohio Collective, or are there some more things that my people watching right now live, and people that will be watching this in the future in the archive? There are other pillars that we need to know about?
Absolutely. So there's definitely health that we haven't had a chance to discuss. And that at length really involves us looking at ways that we're able to combat the systemic racism that we are faced with when we wind up going to the hospital, or we wind up looking for a doctor, we wind up in a hospital pregnant, needing to have really urgent care, and we're told as we walk in that our bellies are going to be cut and we need a C-section without being examined. Things like that really look at how we need different types of assistance than what we currently have. Postpartum doulas and current doulas, as we're going through that process, is important. Another solution that we have that really addresses health and housing is we have a doctor who's looking at how he can actually purchase property within urban settings and become a landlord. So that he would be able to look at health and housing differently and integrate that entire process together, again, collectively. Looking at other ways to actually, within the education system, integrate opportunities for African Americans to no longer be off the map when it comes to becoming doctors and nurses and other medical practitioners, but to make that kind of impact. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention, although it's not part of the collective, but it's an integrated part, civic engagement in government. We have members of the collective who are doing significant things. Tia Ramey actually created an app called Promises Made, Promises Kept, which actually integrates components of how all of that civic engagement can be involved. You can know what's going on currently with your elected officials. You can know when city council meetings are. You can know when you actually need to go and attend these meetings, how to vote, what the actual records are of these elected officials. So you can actually know whether or not the promises made are actually promises kept. Also, of course, we have our legacy organizations like APRI, the NAACP, the Urban League, and UMADOPS, which also we want to make sure that we're providing resource capacity growth for them, but we're also picking up where they're not able to meet those needs. Those are parts that the collective, each one of the programmatic nodes in education and health and economic development meets all of those needs.
And I do want to say, Rhonda, if somebody approaches me about an organization, and especially talking about the upcoming event this weekend, the State of Black Ohio 2020, Rhonda, it's serious if I pass all information to Dr. Janice Taylor Heard.
Oh, it's serious.
Because I'm not gonna get my wife involved, because she'd be like, man, if you get me involved in some foolishness, we gonna have a problem. Because I have had some foolishness going down. But I will not call her if it's even suspected to be some shenanigans.
No,
But,
this is up Dr. Heard's lane.
This is,
so,
I have to say, this is the real deal. And I can't speak enough about this core team that is on this call today, the sacrifices of time, of energy, of effort. When I tell you every Saturday without fail, the members of this team show up and make sure that the needs of the state are being addressed, we're doing it.
okay.
Each and every member.
One more time, let the people, and again, if everybody's watching the show, please share the show. We have a good amount of people already in with us now, but as it always is, Chill Talk, more and more people share it, and it doubles and triples and quadruples in numbers as we progress. But again, Tiffany, give the information to what's going on this weekend, and how can people participate, see it, be a part of it? Tiff?
Absolutely. So the State of Black Ohio is occurring this Saturday at 9:30 a.m. until 12:30 p.m. Log on and register at the beautiful site that Black Space Creative created for us at Ohio, at ohcollective.org. Again, it's ohcollective.org. You can sign up, sign on, become a part of the solution. You'll see 4 panels: economic development, education, health, civic engagement, and government. 2 amazing keynote speakers, Jody David Armour and Terrace Todd from the White House. There will be individuals who will be addressing how to assure that we have the solutions to combat systemic, structural, and institutional-based racism for us, by us. And I would be remiss if I didn't say that there are a lot of people who are not African American who are providing solutions for African Americans. This is the opportunity to step up, be heard, be a part of the solution, and hear from African American leaders who are committed to providing those solutions.
Right.
Another component this Saturday is the networking piece. So this is not just going to be another Zoom webinar. It will be interactive, and there will be opportunities for sidebar conversations of folks to come together and network. So if you're an educator in Cincinnati, in Toledo, in Youngstown, and you want to connect with educators in other cities around the state, you'll be able to do that. You'll be able to literally work the room and have silo conversations and network at this event. So it's for everybody, especially if you are doing any kind of work in those 3 primary pillars. You do not want to miss this. You don't want to miss it.
Not to mention on the DJ side, we got Dami Huge Deal Styles, so we'll have some good music for y'all as well.
Dami Styles. Okay, y'all not playing around.
Not at all.
You know, you got to get it warmed up. It's going to be a Saturday morning, so.
That's right. That's right.
All right. I do want to also say, for the people that are watching the show, and we've also been joined by my man, Burner. What's going on, bro? Burner, we got to get you on the show, man. You do so many things in so many different lanes, as well as help provide that beat for the Chill Talk introduction, even though we don't get a chance to use it as of late because we haven't been in the radio station, but we got to get you in there. And for the people, and please, everybody watching, share the show. But also, if you look in the chat on the Chill Talk radio page, you'll see the registration link for the state of Black Ohio. Thank you, Rhonda Crowder. You remember that you're an administrator here on this page and can just put stuff in there. Way to go. Matter of fact, you're not just an administrator. You created the page.
I did.
So, yeah. So thanks for getting that in there. But anybody want to go, as they see you, the registration link is there. Please go to it, participate, learn from it, spread the news about it. Man, you guys, this has been a powerful show. And anybody want to give any links to how people can contact you individually? Please do so, because we have so many dynamic people, and I know we're a collective, but we're made up of individuals doing a lot of things. So if anybody wants to kind of shout out how people can reach out to you, find out about what you do, what you know, or even want to talk to you about the collective, how can people reach out to you individually or connected to things that you do?
Start out and we can work the screen.
All right, let's
Am
start.
I at the top of everybody's screen? You can.
Yeah, you are. You're in the top right on my screen. Go ahead.
Okay.
Sherry.
To learn about the Ohio Black Expo, you can go to ohioblackexpo.com. The way COVID's looking, I think we're going to be virtual again this year. We might do a hybrid of small events in person if we're allowed to get to that by next May, but it's May 27th through 30th, 2021. ohioblackexpo.com, and to find Black businesses right now primarily in Central Ohio, but we're, like I said, we're rolling out city by city across the nation. You can go to hukuapp.com. If you have a business anywhere in the US, you can join right now. You don't have to wait until we officially launch in your city. So that's hukuapp.com, hukuapp.com.
All right, we're going to swing over to Rhonda Crowder, even though anybody that watches Chill Talk should already know how to reach Rhonda. But go ahead and shout it out, Rhonda.
If you're on the Chill Talk page, just send a direct message through the Chill Talk Facebook page. I would definitely get a notification about that. Or you can go to www.rhondacrowderllc.com and connect with me through across all social media platforms, email, and via phone.
All right, my brother Jasper.
Yo. So you can definitely contact and connect with me through specifically my website and business Tailored Fit at www.tailoredfit.org. Everything that's connected to me and everything I'm doing, you can be able to grab through that space as well.
Jasper, I see you got your Ohio State Buckeye, your Ohio State Buckeye stuff back there.
Yeah, you know, born and bred, man. You know, it's just, you know, it runs through the veins and the bloods, man. OH, you know what I'm saying? Only way to
go. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, my brother Kevin Lloyd, talk to us, King.
All right, I can be contacted at KLLOYD. That's Kloyd at columbusblack.com. So you can reach me there. Also, you can catch me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm out there as Kevin Lloyd the Leader or K Lloyd the Leader on Twitter. And last but not least, you know, it was mentioned earlier by Tiffany. You can find events, right? This is the MILE app. It's MYLE, stands for Make Your Life Entertaining. Invite you all to download the app. That's how you find things to do, places to go, and food to eat. And like Sherry said earlier with the other platform, right? You literally can post your events anywhere in the world on the MILE app, and it'll notify people within 50 miles. So as we talk about us integrating and creating technology, we have the ability to do things like that. So please check out the MILE app and make your life entertaining.
All right, my brother. All right, we're going to go to Omar, my man.
Yes, sir. You can hit me up at omar@venturesuite.co. If you got an idea, you're a budding entrepreneur, you're trying to get things off the ground, or if you are a existing business looking to expand, hit us up. I'm also too on Facebook and LinkedIn as well.
All right, and we're gonna go to Tiffany Edwards. Come on, Queen.
If you want to reach out to me, you can reach me at tiffany@ohcollective.org. Hey. And then, of course, you can reach me on Facebook and Instagram, COO Tiffany, and of course on LinkedIn. And for strategy, professional development, ghostwriting, and other things related to feasibility and replication studies, you can reach me at tedwards@gramishconsulting.com.
All right. Hey, this was you guys are fantastic. This is a dynamic group. I'm glad it was people reached out to me about it. And I reached out to other people about it. This is something that is well needed, well organized. And you're right, Rhonda. You know, I don't know if you guys have seen the play, the musical Hamilton, but we talking about the room where it happens. It's going down here. But I appreciate you guys joining me on Chill Talk again. For the people that are watching it right now, for the people that will watch it later as it's archived, please share this show. The organization, the link is in the chat for you can register for the State of Black Ohio this weekend. I will be there participating as well as everybody else on this panel. I'm really looking forward to it. And then I'm actually, as soon as I leave you guys, I'm headed over to the museum. This will be my first time back over to the Egyptian collection since nice. COVID. So I'm headed over there, and I have a small group that we're gonna kind of go in and out and we have 6,000-year-old artifacts up in the Cleveland Museum of Art in the Egyptian collection. Oldest things in the building of a very, very large building. But I appreciate you guys.
There's a lesson in that. The oldest things in the building belong to the. I'm not gonna go there. But
don't get her started. Don't get her started. Hey,
Bravo, Sherry.
The original.
The original people.
And we need to make sure you use the hashtag, right? SOBO 2020.
SOBO 2020.
SOBO 2020. SOBO.
You know.
Hey, Sherry, and I tell you know what? When I give the tour, not only do I tell them that that the stuff in the Egyptian collection is twice the oldest stuff in the building. It's chronologically, as far as the museum is concerned, the Cleveland Museum of Art is like 113 years old or something crazy like that. And the Egyptian collection were the first things that they purchased. They purchased those artifacts like 2 years prior to actually having a building to put it in. So it's the oldest thing in the building as far as the building is concerned. But as far as age, certainly there's no art in the Cleveland Museum of Art that exceeds 6,000 plus years.
Coming from the richest continent in the world.
Talk about it.
You know, Chill is being modest. If any of you guys are ever up here in Cleveland, I'm telling you, take his tour of this Egyptian exhibit. He even reads the hieroglyphs.
Wow.
He teaches you how to read the glyphs. And yeah, it's an amazing tour. I think I've been on it twice and can go again and again and again.
We got to get COVID out the way so we can do that.
Yeah. and I always have to give the statement when people say I can read the hieroglyphs or the Medu Neter. I am a student of the language of reading the Medu Neter, and certainly there are people who may be more skilled than me. I don't know if they're around here, but I am still a student and not claiming to be an instructor or an expert by no means, because man, reading the glyphs is more than a notion, but certainly I do the best I can from the knowledge that I get and the people who have taught me in the groups that I study with. So, but it's a fun event. Hopefully it's educational to the people that partake. But yes, glad to have you guys here. Unfortunately, we didn't have, as normally we have, our producer, the super producer, Felicia Haney, is not with us today, but on behalf of her as well, because we wouldn't be able to do Chill Talk the way that we do it without our producer, our super producer, Felicia Haney. Support the show, support the platform, whether it is on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, upcoming channels and apps that you will be made aware of soon. But support us. If you want to advertise with Chill Talk, contact Chill Talk, look for Rhonda Crowder. She'll hook you up with the good rates. We go work with you, work with us. And again, if somebody wants to, okay, wait a minute. That is Felicia saying that, okay, Felicia Felicia says she's been here the whole time. Felicia Haney, I do not see anybody trying to get into the anyway, we'll deal with that later. I don't see anybody trying to get into the link. But you see, I shouted you out, Felicia.
Nah.
and yeah, go ahead, Kev. You saying something?
Hey, Chill. Speaking of shout outs, man, I'd be remiss if we got off the show. You know, you mentioned the South Bronx. I have to give a shout out because I'm from Spanish Harlem, Wilson Projects, but also went to school in the South Bronx through Gompers High School. So, yeah, had to do that.
The boogie down.
The boogie down. All right.
All right. Big ups and big ups to my people, of course, in New York. For years and years, that was my second home, especially the Fever family down over Jerome Avenue. My people in Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy.
Do or die.
Oh man, do or die. Man, I lived over there a lot of times while recording in Bed-Stuy off of that Kingston Troop exit off the jump off the A train. I made that trip many days, many nights. So yeah, big ups to my people in Brooklyn and Queens and Harlem. All of the Shaolin, all the boroughs. Woo, got to get the Wu-Tang shout out.
The Wu-Tang in there. Got to give it up for the Wu.
My dad's from Harlem. My mama's from Queens.
There it is.
There we go.
Taking it back.
Go. So yeah, no doubt. See now you about to get me in trouble. I'm shouting out New York. I got to shout out all my people in LA. I got to shout out my other hometown, Chattanooga, Tennessee. Right. Big ups to my family in Tennessee. You know I love y'all. But anyway, appreciate you guys. Let's work together. Felicia, I don't know what happened. We'll work that out. But you know I shouted you out. You always here in spirit. You're in there. So we gone up out of here, guys. And if Felicia was here, she's here, but she's listening on Facebook. But she knows we end the show throwing up the deuces. So I'm out of here, y'all. I love y'all. Peace.
Thanks for having us. We'll see you Saturday.
All right,
See you guys Saturday.
So Bo.
You know.
Go Bo 2020, y'all.